Well, it took me 7 days, but I finally have my Formbot Troodon 2.0 Pro built and printing. So here it goes. It's printing a part I need for a project. I'm printing it in red ABS. This is basically my second time I've ever used ABS. So we'll see how it goes. A lot of glare in here, I apologize. I have the printer sort of sideways on the table here because I couldn't reach the back of it from my chair. And it's not ideal, but it'll have to do. So I had lots of trouble. Oh, look at that. We have an unknown command. Oh, now it's gone. There was an unknown command. I didn't catch it. Yes, I have some more work to do. So I basically built this starting Monday. Today is Sunday. I took pretty much Monday through Saturday, Friday. Let's call it Friday. Monday through Friday to put it together. I took a day off of this project on Saturday. I wasn't feeling well. And I got back to work on it today. And I've spent the bulk of today hours trying to get this printer to print. It would often... Hello, kitty. There's Salem. Hey, kitty. Salem. Hi, say hi. Hello. So, today I spent time trying just to get the software to work. I played with setting it up in Orca. It seemed the best choice because Orca already had the printer as one of its printers it would print to. And you could send jobs via wireless. I hope that part's turning out. I have no idea. Looks pretty good from here. But I ran into a lot of problems with the printer.cfg file. There's an unknown time-lapse take frame thing again. Oh, I know what that is. It thinks I have a camera, so I'm going to have to find that in the printer.cfg file and remove it. Comment it out. It'll be fine. So that's what's going on there. So I just couldn't get the printer to work. It would heat up. It would then drop the temperature down to 150 so we could do all the bed probing stuff. And then it would shut down saying it was too cool to print. A lot of help from the guys on the Troodon website or Discord channel. I discovered that my printer.config file was just plain old wrong. There was nothing right about it. It was horrible. So I had to redo a lot of the code in there. Thankfully, there was a GitHub, and it was just a matter of doing a lot of copy and paste. So this is my first time successfully trying to get it to run after working on it all day. I can honestly say that if the printer works out well, I'll be happy. But I'm not that happy with Formbot's implementation. The hardware is fantastic. I have no complaints about the hardware. I'm a little worried about this belt right here. It seems a little slack to me. So I get in there, that one right there. So I may cinch that down a little. I think it's too slack. The printer was actually kind of hard to put together. Shouldn't have been that difficult. So that was one of the reasons it took me so long to put it together. The software was just totally wrong. I could not connect to Wi-Fi. I ultimately ended up using a Wi-Fi bridge I had laying around, plugging it into the Ethernet port, and then getting to its web front end from my desktop machine and setting the Wi-Fi up. But it still just wouldn't work. Every time I tried to go into the Wi-Fi menu on the touch screen here, I would get an error message and it wouldn't do it. After messing around with it for 4 hours, I discovered that pretty much all of the files on here were out of date. So thankfully I had it hooked up to the network via the Wi-Fi bridge I have, and I updated all of the files. After that, everything just worked. I could get into all the menus, I didn't have any more error messages, and I was pretty happy. But you know, this is mostly a pre-built machine. Well, okay, everything from the bed down is pre-built. The rest you have to do yourself. But it should have been pre-configured and stuff. This should have been updated. There were log files on this thing from 3 years ago. 2 years ago, from 2023. So, they hadn't run an update or anything, just threw it in a box, and there you go. Again, I'm not happy that printer.cfg was such a flaming mess. But, if the bad parts are behind me, then I'm going to remain happy. I am happy to have a large format printer again. I used to have an Anycubic Chiron. It worked relatively well, but you had to babysit it because the connectors on the tool were junk, and it would lose connectivity. The hot end would shut down, the thermistor would shut down. It just was horrible. You had to go over there every hour or less and jiggle the cables, or it would just stop printing your job, which was really fun when we were doing, a 3-day print. So there you go. Also, that printer was really loud. These printers are not that loud. The fan noise you hear is actually coming from an 8-bay rack mount RAID server behind me. This thing does not make a lot of noise. It's every bit as quiet as my Prusa, which is right there. Oh man, this lens is dirty. There we go. I'll clean the lens. So that's what I have to say so far. For $1,000, I expected better. I don't mind putting printers together. Parts of putting this printer together were really easy. It was just, I had trouble with things like these, the ball joints that mount to the linear rails were really challenging to get installed, screwed onto that gantry. For me, of course, weight's an issue. I'm not very strong, so I struggled with that. But yeah, in the end, my major complaint is just that the software just wasn't really set up. I wasn't expecting it to be totally turnkey. After all, I did have to put it together. But configuring it, leveling the bed and setting the Z offset, things like that went smoothly. My main complaint again was just printer.cfg being such a flaming mess and way out of date.